What's up YouTube, I'm just another guy and welcome back to Gibraltar United. So here we are, HB game. We've got today 2 live comms of course as normal, but let's talk about how I'm going to approach transfers. I know it's not been too long since I left you off. We do actually have a transfer to go through, and we signed one player since I left you off. Of course Burn left, but we did officially sign one player, and it was Michael O'Donoghue, left back. He'll be here for at least 2 years. And that sort of brings me on to what I want to talk about. So I'm going to go on the squad quickly. So, looking for left backs, looking at left backs out there, it was either going to be between O'Donoghue or David Radmore, who's on trial here, an ex-Everton trainee, last played for Macclesfield in 2017. You know, decent youngster, you know, younger than O'Donoghue as well, had potential to become something quite good. I did actually want this guy, but he wanted something like £800 a week, and I didn't really feel that was an area of the pitch that I was willing to pay that much money for. And the thing is, something I've noticed with tying down all my players to professional deals and looking or chasing a few people with professional deals now, is that a lot of them want 2 years. So I've decided that I'm going to see every single contract that I offer as a 2-year investment. So every single person I sign needs to be good enough to last 2 years. And by last 2 years, I mean they need to be good enough to help us progress within them 2 years. Then I'll reevaluate them. Then I'll see if there's any better youngsters or any better players available to us at that point before I re-sign them down. There are, of course, people in this team with quite large deals. So, for example, Sean Montgomery has a 4-year deal at right mid. Gregory and Coling both had 3-year deals, as well as Terry Brown, Dean Baldwin, and Matthew Smith in defence has a 4-year deal. And I saw Coling as well in goal, Dale Coling in goal. Overall, I think those were mistakes. I actually wanted to sign them down for long deals, but now I'm regretting that because I don't think these guys are going to be good enough for too much longer. For example, the positions I currently want to improve, apart from, you know, I got my left back, which is great, but the other positions I want to improve are centre back. I want Tom Harrison to leave, which he'll probably do at the end of the season. I won't sign a new deal for him. I want a new striker, which will probably mean Jason Coling will be sacrificed, and I want a new left midfielder. But those are the 3 positions I want to improve this year if I can. If not, you know, if by the time we get knocked out of the Champions League, you know, I haven't got really anyone currently I can see that would be worthwhile, I may not sign these people. But those are the positions I want to be improving by the end or by the start of next year. I'd like to have new players in them positions. So, you know, it's going to be a changing time for us now. We are going to be trying to incorporate a few more foreigners into the team as we try and improve the overall standard of the squad. I do, however, still want to continue to develop my young players. As you can see, I've tied down people like Brown, Baldwin, Smith. They've all got long deals. And the reason for that is because being now professional, I think we can develop them a lot more. And I do want to give them their chance. It's the same with Jason Coling. I want to give him his chance. He's 20 years of age. He's on £210 a week, which means, you know, if I were to keep him for the full 3 years, he obviously wouldn't get a pay rise, which I don't really mind paying that much money. But as a backup player, I kind of do mind. So I am going to still be playing youngsters. I am going to still try and develop my young players. For example, I've got a right midfield currently here on trial, Steve Williams, and you know, you can see that he's not a bad player. I mean, he's got some few good stats here and there. And I considered trying to sign him, but then I thought, you know what, no, we'll keep Montgomery in. He's 21 years of age. He came from, he's been here. He's now homegrown here, but he came from Lincoln's youth system. He plays for the national team. He's from Gibraltar. Overall, I'd rather have him than, you know, Williams. Even though Williams could maybe be a better player than him in the future, I'd like to keep Montgomery for at least a few more years, see how he goes. So, apart from that, you know, that's just an idea of what I'm going to be doing with transfers. I'm not going to be jumping in. I'm not going to be spending loads and loads of money on wages. £800 a week with Radmore was way too much for my liking. £450 is still the largest we have ever paid for a player at this team, but it's not large in relation to everyone else. I mean, Gregory is £425. You know, £375, for example, for Baldwin. We have got people on decent wages here in comparison to O'Donoghue. So I still think that's fine. You know, I just don't want to be splashing out. For example, I've been scouting people and it's like, oh yeah, they'll accept £1,000 a week. I'm thinking, I can't pay you £1,000 a week. You probably wouldn't be good enough to be paid that. We have to be very, very picky with who we're signing. I don't want to cripple the club for someone that's not going to be worthwhile. We do also have something being planned. We have training facilities being planned to be improved at the end of this season. But the thing is, the cost that improving these facilities will be is £750,000, I think, or 725, or something over £700,000. And that is a very large chunk out of our finances. So if that were to go through at the end of the season this year, next year in Europe, we will have to get past the second qualifying phase to cover them costs. If not, we could find ourselves turning back into a semi-pro team, and we do not want that. And also, I did sign a new contract. I got a new deal. I spoke last time how we were unable to come to an agreement, but I lowered my wage quite a bit down, and they offered me a 3-year deal, so I was happy with that. But yeah, let's go into this game now against HB. Let's hope we can get the win that we obviously want. As you can see, fitness is still not great, but that's something we have to deal with, being a team that come back in July, or actually in late June, and we only start our holiday in early June. That's something we have to deal with. But I am going to rotate a few people here. We're going to put Montgomery on the bench. I think we'll also give a start to Gareth Clark, who currently has a bid going in for him. I'm currently trying to loan him out to Britannia. They're still in our division. Yes, they should be. Yeah, so he'll be hopefully going out to a team in our division. I'm all for that. I didn't actually offer him to clubs. They just came in. So I said, yep, you know what? I'm happy to do that. Apart from that, I think this will be the team that we'll go out with today. So it's Coling in goal, Lopez right back, Harrison and Smiths at the centre back, O'Donoghue making his debut at left back. Right midfield we have Victor, left midfield Duarte, and centre backs of Baldwin and Brown. And up front we have Clark and Coling. And let's jump into this. O'Donoghue, you can have number 3. So, let's do this. Come on, we have to get to the second qualifying phase yet again. It says that's where we need to be. Something I actually didn't mention, HB were the underachievers of the tournament last year when they lost to us. That is a bit harsh in my eyes, because we were favourites going into the game, which means obviously they'd want to get through to the second qualifying phase. Heck, everyone in this team wants to do that, but only 4 teams can, and for them to get knocked out in the end by a better team, I don't think they can be seen as underachieving there. They've gone to a 4-3-3, though I'm not too pleased with that. I would like them to obviously keep it simple. For some reason, opponent instructions, no one's willing to do that. But let's do the assistant and let's go. Let's hopefully get a comfortable win here. That would be ideal. I would, of course, love to again rotate the team in the second leg like I've done for the past few years now, as we should get the early chance and we get the goal. Matthew Smith getting the goal with Jason Coling getting the assist. Great way to start off the game. Only 6 minutes in. That is perfect. And we know that's not going to be enough, obviously. We've seen in the past that they have the ability to score against us. We just need to overcome that. Jason Coling, Matt Smith trying to link up yet again. Unable to actually get this one in the back of the net this time. But let's see, O'Donoghue, first time we've seen him with the ball in a highlight. Not the best cross in the world, and we're unable to end up getting a shot from it. But the chance had already gone with Matthew Smith's and Coling sort of incident at the near post. Using that left-hand side, O'Donoghue making a decent run. They find him. Hopefully he'll whip this one in. He does, and it is Clark with the goal. O'Donoghue with an assist on his debut. Gareth Clark getting his first goal this season for us. He'll probably be his last goal of the season for us, as he'll hopefully go out on loan and get first-team football. I did speak at the end of this year, that he was going to be our fourth choice striker if he stayed here. And I still believe that. The reason he's starting today is because I know he plays target man quite well, as Victor unable to get that one in. A pretty decent save from the goalkeeper. But yeah, I know he can play target man Clark, so that's why I've started him today instead of Smith, who would be our other youngster, who I think it's Smith. I think that's his name, who I would, of course, ideally want to play and develop. As ball goes through over the top, and it's Jason Coling through. Playing it back to Clark. Bang. Bang, bang. 3-0. And this, I'm going to say it now, even though I probably shouldn't again after last year, but I'm going to say it's game over now. It really should be. I'll probably push these players quite a bit. Matthew Smith might come off at half-time, actually. We'll make a few subs in this game so we don't have to completely rotate the starting lineup next game. Didn't want to click on players. I want to click on overview. So, Tom Harrison, you will... I guess you'll come off. Terry Brown, you can come off for McNaughton. I mean, not McNaughton, sorry, Norton Rumbo. And... I think we'll take Matthew Smith off. We'll put Burgess there. And how tall are you, O'Donoghue? 6 foot. Yep, you know what, you can do that. You can also play there kind of accomplishedly. So, yeah, we'll do that. Two changes to the defence. Just so, again, like I said, I don't really want to change up too many players if I can avoid it. I mean, Duarte is probably going to have to be dropped for the second leg, but that's fine. Hopefully Montgomery can play in that match. I do need him to play so he can be fit for the Salzburg game, which we'll hopefully have. And it's Jason Coling in the attacking half, playing it back. Burgess now with the ball. Back to Baldwin, passing it around. Really lovely. If Clark can find the right back, he does. He finds Lopez. Ball whipped in to Victor. Good save from the keeper. Victor unable to make it 4-0 to us. Still got the ball, but I'm pretty sure that was the highlight. You know, that chance there from Victor was really good. Really well worked opportunity. Shame we were unable to convert it. Have they changed their goalkeeper? I've not really paid attention to the goalkeeper's name. It just looks a lot longer than it was in the first half. But HB now with the opportunity, and wow, they hit the bar and they almost made it. You know, almost got their goal back. Our 3 away goals obviously going to be quite vital in this. I think in this leg, in the second leg. You know, getting 3 away goals is always going to benefit a team, even if it is against a smaller team like we're playing right now. Look at the fitness. Look at that. Duarte is dead. And I think the fitness is now coming into play. They get the goal from a set piece and they've got one back. But I do think that's coming into effect now, how tired our players are. You know, I don't think they can keep up much more, some of these players. Victor Lopez is looking absolutely shattered. You know, down the left-hand side, we're not looking particularly fit. But here's Lopez now to Victor. Back to Lopez. Good ball now to Coling, to Duarte, who is dead, but still manages to flick it past 2 people. If he can find a decent ball in, he does. Clark unable to get it on target, but Coling does. We get that 3-goal deficit back. Jason Coling with his first goal of the season. And Duarte there really was the key man in this goal, because without him beating them 2 players, without him putting in a really good cross to Clark, you know, Coling wouldn't have got that opportunity. But it looks like it looks like it's going to be the end highlight. I thought I said 4 minutes there, sorry. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be the end highlight, and we're through to we're going to the second leg with a 4-1 lead, which should be enough. Again, after last year, not too sure, but it should be enough of a deficit to see us, you know, quite easily get through to the second qualifying phase. God, stutter. Anyone pick up any injuries or something? But yeah, I'll meet back for the second leg. Hopefully we won't have to rotate the team too much. Oh, Clark with a man of the match performance. Did have a good game, but I'm still going to loan him out. I still don't think he's got much of a future here. So let's go into the second leg and let's get this pretty much over with. Christ, I didn't realise how unfit people were. I want to actually point out one player quickly I've got on trial. Sean Hodge. But Sean Hodge, 19 years of age, Scottish player, and he looks to me like a really good player. I mean, he's got good pace, you know, pretty quick. Not too bad strength for our level. A good teamwork, good work rate and determination. Finishing is good. Composure is decent. Heading's not too bad. Dribbling, passing. I think he's a guy that has got decent stats everywhere that I'd really want. But the thing is, I just tried offering him a deal quite literally a day ago, and he wanted £900 a week, and I can't even offer that to my key players. £550 is the max wage I can offer. But he looks like such a good player, and I just can't afford it. And so, as a result, we're unable to get him. But today's lineup, I'm going to have a look quickly. I am going to rotate. Sorry, coughing. I am going to rotate a few people, but I will try and keep the core as solid as I can. I'm not too interested in putting people like Joe West in the team. We'll put Catania on the bench. In fact, we'll actually start with Catania at left back. Also, I think we'll drop Jason Coling. We'll start with Brian Smith. I was right saying Smith a second ago in the previous game. And I think we'll put people like Joe West on the bench. I'd rather have a bit of fitness than that. And apart from that, let's go into this. So, Joe West has to have a number. He can have 31. And let's go. 3-goal deficit, obviously that should be enough to get us through. Plus the 4 away goals we did score means HB have quite a task on their hand. They have to score 4 to beat us. Or actually score 4. Yeah, they have to score 4 to beat us and hope that we don't actually score, which I can't really see happening. I could see us quite easily scoring against these guys yet again. So let's go. Gregory's first game of the season. Big season hopefully for Gregory. If he stays injury free, of course, I think he can do quite a bit this year for us. Catania with a first good challenge of the game in our box as well. And there's Smith in his first ever game in Europe. He's been brought down. I actually don't like how long this highlight's going on for, and this could actually be a worthwhile... Oh no, it's not going to be a worthwhile attack for them. Here is Smith though, we're through on goal really with a shot. Not too bad, cut inside, but he couldn't really get his... I don't think he could get over the ball enough. But not too bad, you know, encouraging start. They've got, how many Jacobsons have they got? Oh, that was not a good challenge there from, who is that, Montgomery? Or is that Duarte? Whoever it was, that was a poor challenge. Here's Catania, not able to get the ball back. And in fact, HB have passed it round us really nicely and they've scored. It might be offside. It is offside. I was about to say, it looked like he started his run a little bit too quick, but a nice flowing move from HB. And we saw that in the last game when they scored against us. They can pass the ball if we give them time and space, and we did it right there. Let's make a sub. I probably should have started this, but we're going to take Harrison off right now because he is really tired. Should have started Enrique. I don't know why I didn't, but we'll just take him off now, and we'll we'll hopefully have him fit enough for the Salzburg game. But here is Duarte giving us the lead. It is Smith as well with the assist. Well done for Smith. I think that's his first ever time he's created or scored a goal for the club, which is always good to see your youngsters doing well. The defender decided I'm going to header the ball and it's on the floor as well. The guy's trying to tackle Smith. He thought diving headers are appropriate in this situation with the ball at his feet. And in the end, he just lays off to Duarte, who scores. So 1-0 up, and that should be us safe now. They have to score 4 just to force it to extra time, which again, I can't really see happening as we have a really good counter-attack here. A lot of red and white shirts. Good link-up between Smith and Duarte again. Duarte this time unable to get the shot. I don't think he's too greedy to go for that there. There were people in the box, but one-on-one with the keeper, you're going to see glory, aren't you? And I can understand that in certain times. I just don't like it when we're 2-0 down and he's looking for the goal instead of trying to just help the team. Pulling the tie as comfortable as this, you can allow people to, make choices like that. So let's look at some subs again. We will take Duarte off. I think we'll bring Joe West, his first ever game for the club. And I think we'll also take off Montgomery, and I think we'll bring on Barcelo. I just want to make sure my wingers are as fit as possible for the next game because I think they could be quite vital. Yet again, we're going in the Salzburg game or the second qualifying phase with a different tactic. I think I took on board what you guys were saying about my tactic, and I have slightly tinkered it around. To give you a basic idea of what it's going to be, it is going to be a 4-2, and by 2 I mean 2 defensive midfielders, 3, 1 centre mid and 2 wingers, not defensive midfielders, but I mean wingers, and also 1 up front. So still a sort of 4-2-3-1 sort of thing, but again, the 3 you'd expect to be attacking midfield are in the midfield itself, as Callum Gregory gets his first goal of the season and is able to give us a 2-0 lead on the day. Looks like we could be getting 2 wins at this stage in the tournament, which again was what I expected last year. Although there's still a lot of time left to play in the game, and now fitness really could become an issue. Matthew Smith is still on the pitch in the centre of the park, looking very tired. But yeah, the tactic, I've gone 4-2-3-1, and again, I think I've took on board everything you guys said. I will go back and read your comments yet again because I've still got time before I have to play, of course, the second qualifying phase. But I will go back and I will look at them. I will make sure I've read them all correctly. Make sure I've understood everything you're trying to say to me, and then I'll try and incorporate that in if I can or if I agree with it. Of course, there's not everything I'm going to agree with, but it was the midfield last year that sort of let us down. No one was challenging the people at the edge of the box, as Gregory really should score this now. Wide of the mark, not even to get that on target isn't good enough. But yeah, I think the back 5, I think 5 maybe a bit of too many people in defence, and as a result, we weren't able to win the game in the midfield. And that cost us, as they scored quite a few long shots last year against us, Moldy. So hopefully against Salzburg, we can try and prevent that a little bit. But see if we get a third here as Brown's brought down and nothing to come of it. And we're able to get the ball back though. Let's see if we can launch it back in the right area of the pitch. Brown actually finding West. Playing it all the way back to our defence. West Clearly not confident enough on his debut to flick it past the winger. Although it's still down that left-hand side. Let's see what we can do with it now. West again, and results to going back. But we've kept the ball. As Brown again, runs down that left-hand side. He's trying to pass it down there so many times, Brown. He thought he might as well go down there himself. But here it's Smith, and Smith scores his first ever goal for the club. Great game from Smith. An assist and a goal in what is his, I think, third ever start for the club. First ever game in Europe, and it is 7-1 on aggregate right now, and there is still 20 minutes remaining, and we look pretty comfortable. So, let's hope that is, we can get a few more. I'd love a double-figure scoreline on aggregate. Coling looks like he picked up a knock, and by Coling, I mean Dale Coling, our goalkeeper. As Montgomery should really score that. Enrique's unable to get the ball through a crowd of 3 red shirts in front of him. God, everyone is so tired. We really need to enter the second qualifying phase next year. Not because, we don't enjoy playing these games, because of course, who doesn't want to get a win in Europe every season, which we've managed to do by starting at this stage. But I could do with a few friendlies, getting match fitness up, getting people fit for their matches. As West has managed to score in his first ever game for the club. Wow. You don't really see that too much for us, and first ever goal for the club in the Champions League. Okay, a tie's already over, and it's helped us just, embarrass HB a little bit this year, like we did last year. Well, not last year, but like we've done when we played them before, by beating them. It doesn't reflect too kindly on them. But yeah, what an amazing scoreline, especially the second leg where people are absolutely dead. I think Lopez, Smith, both are probably like 40% condition right now. So for them to still look at that, Smith still being able to do certain things in defence, I'm really surprised. He's not like seizing up or just barely moving. But yeah, everyone in this second leg has played really well. And it's a lot better second leg performance than it was last year. As, Smith, he does get his second goal for the club. Brian Smith has been really good this game. And, he does have decent potential in him. So we will be trying to look to try and get that out of him this year. I do think Coling may be the person to sort of sacrifice a few, end games here and there. It depends, though, really, in a way. If Gregory's having a bad game, Smith will come on. If Coling's having a bad game up front, Smith will come on. But by the performance today by Smith, I think he's got something in him. As we won 5-0 on the day, everyone contributing pretty much. The only guy to get lower than a 7 was... Well, 2 guys was Montgomery and Barcelo, but they only had 45 minutes each. So I can understand that. Plus Montgomery played in the first half where there weren't too many goals and we weren't particularly great. But 5-0, good home victory as well. 9-1 on aggregate. Really couldn't ask for too much more. So we've got the confirmation now. We will be playing Red Bull Salzburg in the Champions League. We'll probably get a TV game when we're away from home, which will, of course, be more money for us. Holders of the competition are Liverpool. Managed to win it for their 6th time in their history, I guess. Jordan Henderson, key player. Raheem Sterling. Sacco is their captain. Sacco. Really? I wouldn't really see that. No, he's been beasting it for the past 7 years or whatever, so can't really blame them for giving it to him. But yeah, look how many people are unfit. Let's rest up our players. Everyone in the squad, apart from you trialists. Training. Rest. You can rest for 2 days, lads, just to try and get some fitness up for this massive game against Red Bull Salzburg. I won't go into the tactic. I already spoke about it a little, but we'll have a go through the tactic next time. And hopefully we can get something out of one of the games. It'd be nice to get a draw. It'd be nice, of course, to go through, but we know that's a near impossible task. But either way, guys, until then, peace out.